The most recent ESPN divisional rankings show fresh faces at the top. At UFC 281 over the weekend, Alex Pereira won the middleweight title, and Zhang Weili reclaimed the strawweight crown at Madison Square Garden. In this video, we'll be discussing the MMA divisional rankings. Pereira was the number 7 middleweight before UFC 281 changed everything, so stay with us. Did UFC 281 change Pereira's rankings? After winning 2 divisions of the Glory Kickboxing World Championship, Pereira entered his 8th professional MMA bout, ending Israel Adesanya's 3-year reign with a 5th-round knockout. He was ranked number 7 on ESPN before the championship match on Saturday. He's now number 1. The same goes for Zhang, who rose to number 3 after unseating Carla Esparza at UFC 281. Zhang first won the 115-pound title in 2019, lost it the following year, and has since regained it. The rankings for most categories have changed, but that's why we're here. We'll be updating you with the latest. Please note that these rankings are current as of November 17th. Let's start with our heavyweight champions. Francis Ngannou, whose promotion as UFC champion with a record of 17-3, is now ranked as number 1. His last fight was against Cyril Gane on January 22, 2022. Next is the famous Cyril Gane at number 2 with an 11-1 record. The last fight was WKO3 tied to Ivasa on September 3, 2022, and his next is to be determined. Number 3 is Stipe Miocic. His record is 12-4. His last fight was against Francis Ngannou on March 27, 2021. With a 17-3 1-NC record, Curtis Blaydes is now number 4. His last fight was WTKO1 Tom Aspinall on July 23, 2022. I'm sure you're finding the change surprising, but hang on, there's more. The most recent heavyweight rankings from number 5 to number 10. Tai Tuivasa is number 5. His last match was LKO3 Cyril Gane on September 3, 2022. His record is 14-4, and his last match was on December 3rd when he fought against Sergey Pavlovich. After his fight against Curtis Blaydes on July 23, 2022, Tom Aspinall now sits at number 6, currently with a 12-3 record. Sergey Pavlovich is number 7 and has a 16-1 record. His last fight was against Derek Lewis on July 30, 2022. On December 3rd, he'll be having his next match against Tai Tuivasa. In number 8, we have Derek Lewis, who has a 26-10 record. His last fight was against Sergey Pavlovich on July 30, 2022. Alexander Volkov is at number 9 with a 35-10 record. He had his last match against Jairzinho Rozenstruik on June 4, 2022. Number 10 is Ryan Bader with a 30-7 1-NC record. His last match was against Sheikh Kongo on May 6, 2022, and his next match will be on February 4th against Fedor Emelianenko. Glover Teixeira will face Yuri Prochazka again on December 10th after Prochazka choked out Teixeira to win the championship in June. What's the updated light heavyweight ranking? The latest light heavyweight is Yuri Prochazka, Glover Teixeira, Jan Blachowicz, Mohamed Ankalaev, Corey Anderson, Alexander Rakic, Jamal Hill, Vadim Nemkov, Anthony Smith, and Nikita Krylov, ranked from number 1 to number 10, respectively. The women aren't left out of this change either. The top spot in our women's bantamweight rankings belongs to 2-time UFC champion Amanda Nunes. She has a record of 22-5. Her last fight was against Juliana Pena on July 30, 2022. Juliana Pena, who sits at number 2, is another UFC champion. Her last match was against Amanda Nunes, who's now ranked number 1. Number 3 is Ketlin Vieira, a UFC champion with a 13-2 record. Her next match is to be determined, but her last match was on May 22, 2022. She fought against Holly Holm, who is now number 4 with a 14-6 record. Raquel Pennington, a UFC champion with a 14-8 record, is at number 5. Her last match was with WUD Aspen Ladd on April 9, 2022. Her next match is to be determined. UFC champion Irene Aldana is number 6. She has a 14-6 record, and her last match was on September 10, 2022 against Macy Chiasson, who's now ranked number 9. Yana Kunitskaya, ranked number 7, is a 14-6 UFC champion. Her last match was against Irene Aldana on July 10, 2021, and her next one is to be determined. Sarah McMahon, Macy Chiasson, and Pani Khamzat are all UFC champions and are ranked number 8, 9, and 10, respectively. In the strawweight category at UFC 281, Zhang Weili successfully defended her title against Carla Esparza to win a second term as the strawweight champion. Want more details on this? Keep watching. Is Zhang Weili still ranked number 1 in strawweight? Yes, Zhang Weili is still number 1 with a 23-2 record. Her last fight was on November 12th this year, where she fought against Carla Esparza at the UFC and won. After her loss to Zhang Weili, Carla Esparza is ranked number 2. Her next match is still to be determined. Rose Namajunas used to be number 2, but Esparza Garza changed that after their last UFC match against each other. Amanda Lemos's new rank is quite impressive. During the last UFC, she scaled up from her previous ranking of number 9 to her new position of number 4. That's terrific. Marina Rodriguez lost her position as number 4 to Lemos in her last match on November 5, 2022. Yan Xiaonan, with her 14-3 1NC record, also moved down the slope from her previous ranking as number 5 to her new ranking as number 6. Mackenzie Dern also used to be number 6 until October 1, 2022, when she lost to Yan Xiaonan. Tecia Torres used to be number 7 but couldn't retain her position after losing to Mackenzie Dern on April 9th of this year. The UFC champion has a record of 12-6. Amanda Ribas, previously number 8, has also moved down the slope and is now ranked number 9. Michelle Waterson-Gomez is ranked number 10. MMA pound-for-pound rankings. After a shocking stumble, where does Harrison land? Although Kayla Harrison made her first career mistake, she's still a top 10 fighter. It was shocking to see Kayla Harrison lose to Larissa Pacheco at the 2022 PFL Championships last Friday. She had previously defeated the opponent twice, and she had been given an 8-1 betting advantage going into the fight. It was her first loss in her professional career. The outcome not only shocked the PFL and women's MMA in general, but it also highlighted how mysterious Harrison has been throughout her MMA career. She used her judo skills, which had earned her 2 Olympic gold medals, to great effect in dominantly winning her first 15 matches. She rose quickly to become the PFL's, that's Professional Fighters League, biggest star. Nonetheless, Harrison had bigger dreams. "I am the queen of women's MMA," Harrison declared on several occasions. Harrison made it into our women's top 10, but the ESPN panel that votes on pound-for-pound rankings didn't go quite that far. Why not at the very top, a place more befitting a queen? Because of the level of competition she faced in the PFL, it was difficult to determine precisely how excellent Harrison was. The majority of the other athletes in our top 10 list for men and women were regularly put to the ultimate test in UFC fights or had proven themselves in other elite-level competitions. How divided was the panel on Harrison? All 6 of the voters had her in the top 10 before the Pacheco bout. One had her as high as number 4. But as a result of Friday's defeat, Harrison is listed on just 2 ballots. It doesn't mean they don't care about her, it just means they thought at least 10 other fighters were superior to her. Harrison did receive enough votes on the 2 ballots where she did appear to maintain her position in our top 10, albeit 1 spot lower than before. But now comes the MMA task that everyone has been anticipating. Does Kayla Harrison possess the strength to recover from a setback? Losing isn't the end of the world in MMA. However, some combatants react more quickly than others. Those who recover from their first professional setback have the chance to become MMA royalty. Like fans across the sport, a large portion of our pound-for-pound panel was waiting for Harrison to more convincingly establish her status as the queen she claimed to be. The effects of that astounding outcome can be seen in our most recent women's top 10, where she lost to Pacheco. Note that the rankings are current as of November 30th. What's the new women's pound-for-pound ranking? UFC champions Amanda Nunes, Valentina Shevchenko, and Zhang Weili are ranked 1 to 3, respectively. Chris Cyborg, Juliana Pena, and Rose Namajunas follow closely, ranked as number 4, 5, and 6. After her last matches against Rose Namajunas on May 7th and Zhang Weili on November 12th this year, Carla Esparza is now ranked number 7. Jessica Andrade moved up from her previous ranking of 9 to a new ranking of 8, while Kayla Harrison, who lost her previous ranking to Andrade, is now ranked 9. Amanda Lemos was previously unranked, but now she sits proudly at rank number 10. Do you agree with these rankings, or do you think some people missed out? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you again in the next one.